Well, a popular spot for coffee drinkers is disappearing in the downtown core. Starbucks on Ouellette Avenue will be closing at the end of July. With more, we go live to the CBC's Sanjay Maru. Sanjay, why exactly is downtown Windsor about to lose this Starbucks?
Well, Chris, earlier today I stepped into the Starbucks behind me, not to order a cup of coffee, but to forward that question to the store manager. Now, she refused comment, so I took that question a little higher up to Starbucks corporate office, but they have yet to get back to me. So, Chris, to your question of why exactly Starbucks is pulling out of downtown Windsor, that question is still unanswered. Now, earlier today we had a chance to speak with Joe McHale. He's the person who owns the building which houses this Starbucks here in downtown Windsor, and he says it's sad to see Starbucks go, but it's a sign of some of the constant problems which continue to plague downtown Windsor.
We have Quicken Loans that came in and we say, wow, this is great. This is going to help downtown. We have the university coming in. Wow, that's great. We have St. Clair coming in. Wow, that's great. But for some reason, those pieces aren't coming together. You can't put lipstick on something that doesn't want to have lipstick on it. The only way that people survive is if you have people on the streets with wallets and jobs.
And you can hear the discouragement in his voice there, Chris. McHale recommending the city push to bring more government jobs into Windsor. If that happens, McHale says private sector jobs will follow.
Now, this goes beyond a cup of coffee. I know people have their loyalty, but this is a business leaving the city's core. What are people saying about that?
Well, Chris, I reached out to some members of the downtown Windsor BIA, but none would speak with me on camera, mainly because they were surprised. Take board member and ward councillor Reno Bordelin, for example. He didn't know about the news of this Starbucks closing down until I told him just hours ago at a nearby cafe. Take Jeff Zanetti, the owner of Villains. He also sits on the board as well. He refused an on-camera interview with me as well, but says he's sad to see Starbucks go. And it's that same sentiment of sadness which is being felt by residents here in Windsor.
I can't believe you dropped that on me here as I come to get my macchiato every afternoon. It's staple downtown. I mean, it's always been here as far as I think been alive, and it's going to be weird without it.
I'm very sad that they're closing, but there's other coffee shops. But I'm used to this. I love the window.
It's certainly not going to be good, you know, for other businesses wanting to come into the city. It's not going to look like a good place to, you know, establish a business, right? Well, certainly it's going to be a little offsetting to new business owners.
And we also reached out to some other members of the downtown Windsor BIA, including its chair, but none were available for an on-camera interview today. Now, part of the shock comes from the fact, Chris, that Starbucks recently opened up a location in Leamington. A second Starbucks is expected to open in the town of Lakeshore. So with vacant buildings continuing to be a problem here in Windsor, it's still unclear as to why Starbucks would pull out of this region. Chris.
The CBC's Sanjay Maru live in our downtown core tonight.